a hen right here, a leghorn, that's been walking up and down along this fence line ever since I gave the flock their food this morning. And you would wonder why she would do this when I gave them pretty huge piles this morning of food that everyone else is still eating. Why would she choose to keep walking along this particular fence line? I have a theory. I think it's because she is the chicken that's trying to cross the road. I kid you not, people. This morning, I woke up, came outside to feed these chickens. I don't know for sure if it's her, but I'm pretty sure it's her. I walked out of my house to find a chicken, a leghorn hen, running up my driveway because she knew she wasn't supposed to be outside of this area. And she's trying to play it off like it wasn't her. I know it was you. Lo and behold, our roosters are still isolated from the hens right now. A couple of reasons for that. All right, one reason why we have our roosters isolated from our hens right now, it's because we are going to market with our eggs. And I prefer that those eggs not be fertilized. So our roosters and hens have been separated for a little over 2 weeks now. And we are about 2 weeks away from our first market. A hen can hold a rooster's deposit for up to 30 days. So she could still have a fertilized egg develop from a rooster that mated with her 30 days ago. So that's why I've been intentional about separating them. Not that most people would even notice the difference when they crack open the egg, whether it is fertilized or not. But for my peace of mind, I just prefer that they not be fertilized eggs. Part of that is also because when I'm ready to hatch out our own eggs here, I want to make sure that, again, we're very intentional about which rooster has access to which hens. And so this is essentially practice. Let me show you what they're looking like. So the roosters have been hanging out in what used to be a rabbit tractor. And I've been moving them every day along the grass. As you can see here, you can kind of see the path. Let's take a brief tour of what's going on in the garden area. So the other day I went in here and I transplanted a few things. This is a nasturtium. Let me see actually which kind it is. It's a dwarf jeweled nasturtium. Several weeks ago I planted some, I don't remember what seeds these are. They might be echinacea. And it looks like they're just now coming up, which is fine. I originally planted some red acre cabbage in here. And the original plants that I put in here did not make it. I have a grass seed I don't want. And so, hi Natasha. And so, we're in the process of, I don't think that these are really gonna do all that great, but these are red acre cabbages that I transplanted from indoors. I'm not sure if they're gonna really do anything in this bed. I'm kind of, I think I've decided I'm over the indoor seedling planting process. I just don't think it works for me. I don't know if it's just my lack of patience for it, or, you know, the fact that things just seem to go by the wayside as I was working on it. But regardless, all of my onion transplants seem to be doing okay. This is another red acre cabbage that I transplanted, but again, you can see it doesn't, they're not doing that great. We've had, yeah, I just don't think they're gonna come up this year. Here's another dwarf jewel mix nasturtium. I don't know exactly what's wrong with this one. I am overdue to fertilize everything. I will say that. I need to make that a priority. Part of what has been holding me back is that I'm waiting on the arrival of a sprayer so that I can do that, distribute that evenly across all the different. You might hear a shouting going on right now. That's actually a hen that's dropping an egg at the moment. If you're wondering why I have all of this straw in the bed, it's because I thought it would be a good way for me to ensure that I put some sort of mulch over the plants. But I'm finding that it's probably not so great for me to do that because, I don't know, I think it is probably inhibiting some of the things from growing properly somehow. It's just, except for these fun guys. Anyway, I'm still learning how to navigate gardening in Tennessee. Things were just a bit different in Florida, and I don't know, it's definitely a challenge to adjust to this environment. It's better in so many ways as far as the diversity of things I can grow here, but like, I don't know, like looking down here, I'm thinking, yeah, I think I just need to fertilize these guys. I think that may be why I'm not seeing any bulbs. I know it's going to take a few more months before they really develop, but it's just annoying, I guess. Here's one of our green stalks where we have mint on the top level. Also, I put a couple of, I also transplanted some marigolds in here that were grown indoors. They're looking really puny right now, but I'm hopeful that they'll make up for it in time. All right, and here we have some more marigold. Here we have some more marigolds. I think this is a, I don't remember what this is. Is this chamomile or echinacea? I don't know why I get those two confused, but I do. Whoa. Uh-oh. That's not a good sign. I'm pretty sure it looks like this like foamy thing. I'm pretty sure is a bunch of eggs, and I don't know of what. Presumably, I'm thinking it's an insect. Ugh, yuck. I'll have to Google that later. I don't know what that is. Here's some sweet alyssum. Here's some, or another marigold. This is from a mix. More marigold. Here is a, I'm gonna call it a Petra basil because that's my sister's name and it's spelled the same, but I think technically it's Petra basil. That's pretty much all I have in here. It's just flowers and basil. I still have quite a bit of work to do on these other beds. Looks like somebody snacked on the tops of a couple of these onions. Yay. Ugh. Our strawberries are thriving though, looks like. Got quite a bit going on here, look at that. They're even starting to blush a little bit. Yeah, again, I know I need to just put some fertilizer in here. I have the fertilizer, I'm just waiting on the arrival of a sprayer. I have a garden sprayer that's on the way. Hopefully I'll get to this this weekend. Get these fertilized. Here are a bunch of chamomile plants, and I'm looking in deep here. I see, I don't know if you can see it. I'll try to zoom in here. There are ants in here. Not sure why. These little things are all coming from this tree above, which, you know, that's another thing that's a bit of a problem with the way, or with where I placed this garden area. It's too close to the trees. I'm gonna continue to expand it in that direction, but only so far as it doesn't interrupt or get too much shade from these other two trees that we have here in the back. You can see the group of trees that are supposed to be planted in our orchard but have not made it yet. I'm just exercising patience and breathing techniques at this point. I'm so annoyed that those are not in the ground yet, but again, I have to have patience. I am one person and I have a child to deal with, and I have to be cognizant of the fact that this child is still a child. I'll just leave it at that. What is this plant? I think this is a weed. I think this is a weed that was trying to act as if it was some kind of something better, but it's not. It's not food. Not for us anyway. I'm taking that out. You're going away. Bah. Okay. This is just more grass, I think. This is not. Okay. Well, I'll figure out something else to put into this pot eventually. Let's go check on our little meat birds. I'll have to stand here for a moment because when I get close, they kind of scatter. They're all just chilling right there on the grass. So, the meat birds. I know that this tractor might seem a bit too small for these guys to stay in until they grow out. They're almost at the halfway point, actually. And the fact of the matter is, yes, if they were going to stay in this tractor 100% of the time, the whole time that they were growing out, I would agree. It's way too small. But the plan for these guys is that once they become large enough to where they cannot slip through the fencing that we have, they will be let out onto the pasture instead of moved twice a day like they are right now. But as you can see, they've all gotten their morning breakfast. They're very happy about it. They're just chilling, enjoying the fresh air, and it's pretty overcast today, but normally they just sit here and enjoy the sun. Chill out. Right? Isn't that right? Are you serious right now? Do you see this? Where did she come from? Why is she out? Why is she out of the fence area? She knows she's not supposed to be up there. And of course now she wants to go over to the overgrown area where I can't, or it's not I can't, I don't want to go over there. She's not making good choices right now. These are not wise choices, young chicken. I'm not going to chase after her, but I'm going to go in and see if I can let her in. If you've ever used one of these 5-gallon waterers for chickens or other animals on your property, you may be wondering, how do I get the gunk from underneath this white bottle? Because as you can see, it's just kind of icky in there. And that can be kind of hard to clean if all you're using is just a scrub brush. It's helpful to know that you actually just use the bottle itself to get it out. And I'll show you what I mean. Find the cap on this bottle. I turn it to the right because that's the direction you're turning this top. So you turn it in this direction, and then you can lift it up. You can use that leverage to lift it up. If this is full and for some reason you're having to clean it out, then same principle applies, but because it'll be heavier with water in it, you would just probably have to get it behind this little plastic piece here. In any case, what I do is I just set this aside. Initially, I'll rinse out the base. I'll rinse out the base, and then I'll use a solution of water. Actually, I like to rinse or scrub it first with water. And as you can see, that's removing most of the dirt. After this, I'll use a white vinegar and water solution to really help kill any germs that might be lurking in here. By the way, this scrub brush I just got from the Dollar Tree, so you don't have to spend a ton of money to maintain this stuff. Now, another thing to remember is don't forget to clean underneath these areas. You might not think to look there, but little boogies can hang out there too. All right. After I clean the base, then I clean the outside of the container. I like to give it a good rinse first just to see if I can get any debris off. Then again, I'll use my brush, scrub the outside. The reason I scrub the outside is because anything that's on the outside of this container can and will fall into the water below whenever there's rain, even just wind. I'm not going to deal with this opening just yet. I'll get there in a moment. After I clean the outer part, I rinse it. Then I like to look at the bottom and see how that's doing. This bottom is not that dirty. It just mainly has grass on it. But I'll still scrub right in here. There's some crevices where you can see dirt collecting. Also, I'm able to see the underside of these rings a lot better from this angle, so I'll go ahead and clean those off. Another rinse. Okay. Now, I know this might seem a little silly, and perhaps I could do it in a different order, but I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to now, whoop, that just popped right off. Scrub this. Now, you can use a smaller scrub brush, you can use pipe cleaners, you can use whatever it is that you have on hand to really get this as thoroughly clean as possible. It is going to take me a minute or two to do this, so I'm not going to do all that on camera, but I'll come back when it's clean. Also, before I forget, remember to clean the bottle cap as well. Once you get everything as clean as you possibly can, you want to go ahead and put this bottle cap back on. And you'll go ahead and push this back down onto the base. Now at this point, this is when I prefer to clean the inside, including this top, which again, you can't really see any dirt on it, but just as a precaution, I like to at the very least rinse it out, but also just run the brush around it to make sure there's nothing on the rings here. I think you can see some of the specks of dirt as well as some of the, what looks like, mostly it looks like specks of dirt to me, but there could be some mold in there, who knows. I actually haven't used this particular waterer in about a month, so I am going to use the vinegar water solution, swirl it around, use the scrub brush to clean it out, and then rinse it out with water. Alright, my goal here isn't necessarily to create a sterile environment, because the truth of the matter is, if a chicken wants to find water, if it's thirsty enough, it'll find water. It'll drink out of puddles, it'll do whatever it needs to do. And so my goal here is, yes, to provide them with water that's as clean as possible. Definitely want to get rid of any kind of mold or mildew if that should ever arise, but generally speaking, I haven't had that issue because I use apple cider vinegar in the water. This really helps to kill any of those little microbes that would lead to mold or mildew. So, and also making sure that you clean out your water bottle on a regular basis is a good practice. So this water vinegar solution, I'm just going to swirl it around one more time before I pour it out onto some weeds that I don't want. In case you didn't know, spraying vinegar onto weeds will kill them. It's not a good long-term solution, but it is a good quick solution when you want to get rid of weeds in an area, but not necessarily an area where you want things to be. All right, there you have it, folks. This is a clean waterer. I am going to fill it up with some apple cider vinegar. Well, just splash of apple cider vinegar, or whatever you call this amount, and then I will add water, and that is all for today. All right, thanks you guys for watching. I really appreciate it, and huge shout out to all of you who have subscribed. We have reached and exceeded the 1,000 subscribers mark. Yay! And I'm so appreciative of all of you who have chosen to subscribe to our channel and continue to be loyal supporters of us by watching and sharing our videos. I ask that anyone who has been watching and hasn't subscribed yet, go ahead and click that button. We'd really appreciate it. Our growing numbers will help us to continue growing as a channel. As always, be blessed and be a blessing to others. Take care. Until next time. Let me guess. You were trying to cross the road. Is that it? Was that it?